Hello, I am Drillvar R2Q5, and this is my first attempt at like an actual kind of long-form video about this. Now, for this, I would like to discuss something that's come up recently, and that is the Steam Awards 2024 Dead by Daylight nomination. Now, Dead by Daylight has put out on basically all of its social media asking for us to vote to give it the Labor of Love Award. This is basically an award given to games that have gone above and beyond providing for their players. Needless to say, basically every comment section on all the socials that they posted this on is filled with the exact same sentiment. Are you fucking kidding us? Is this a joke? Why on earth would we support this? And the basic answer is this. Dead by Daylight's devs and behavior have become super out of touch and don't actually understand what players want. And this is reasonable. We have been given a shit ton of content recently. Absolute massive amounts of content. 4 chapters a year that is, generally speaking, going to be at minimum 8 different characters, minimum 12 different perks. I think I did that math. No, 24 different perks. My bad. I'm bad at math and I'm not reading off a script. But the point is, we are being given a massive amount of content. The problem is, behavior seems to be focusing on quantity over quality. And that is something that the vast majority of players are kind of getting fed up with. We are tired of getting buggy release after buggy release. Killer-sided or survivor-sided map after killer-sided or survivor-sided map. Broken perks that are immediately hotfixed. Having killers like the Twins, Wesker, the Knight, and now Houndmaster that are full of bugs even on release, and there's no real indicator that we are going to get a decent patch or a decent focus on fixing these bugs. So what needs to change? How does behavior actually earn this? Well, I can think of a couple things. The first and foremost thing that they need to do is cut down on the amount of content they are shoveling out. This will give them more time to actually focus on making that content as good as possible. Personally, what I would recommend is behavior taking the first and third quarter chapters. So the chapter that gets released in March and the chapter that gets released midsummer or towards the end of summer. And basically, instead of using those chapters for new content, have them just be game health updates, focusing on fixing bugs, balancing perks, balancing killers, reworking that which needs to be reworked, improving maps, and making their game generally more playable. This will also mean that the second and fourth quarter chapters will most likely be significantly better in terms of quality. It will also, as I mentioned before, give the Dead by Daylight team at Behavior even more time to actually focus on making this game playable. Additionally, Dead by Daylight and Behavior need to actually listen to what their players are telling them. People are saying, hey, this killer is way too powerful, or hey, this perk needs to be reworked, or hey, this map is super unfun to play for reasons X, Y, and Z. They need to look at that feedback and actually try and implement fixes based on it. Number 2 idea of how behavior can sort of make us actually give a shit. And this comes down to the content that's being put out. Characters need less perks. I'm gonna just straight up say it. Characters need less perks. We have almost 300 perks in this game, and a grand total of maybe 50 of them are actually being used with any sort of regularity. We have too much content in game. So when a new character is put out, here's what I propose. Each new character, instead of coming with 3 new perks, comes with 1 teachable perk. And that is specific to that character. Additionally, retroactively, they take 2 perks from every character already in the game and make them general perks. Still need to be unlocked if you don't already have them, but they would add more free content to the game, which would make it significantly more new player friendly, because right now the game is more or less pay to win. If you can afford the good perks, if you can afford the good characters, you are much, much, much more likely to succeed and get kills and, for lack of a better term, win than free-to-play players that are only buying things with Eerie shards and don't have access to the licensed players and the licensed killers that have those expensive, powerful perks. Also, the Shine of Secrets is just dumb. You need to rework it. But if they were to retroactively make 2/3 almost of the perks in the game general perks, this would increase the amount of perks that certain characters, specifically free-to-play players, have access to. This makes the game much, much more balanced, especially for the newer players who maybe don't have the hundreds at this point of dollars that are necessary to buy these licensed characters, some of which have some of the best perks in the game. For example, Nemesis, who has Lethal Pursuer and Eruption, which are decently strong regression perks, or decently strong perks in terms of killer. On the flip side, we have, I don't actually know because I don't really play Survivor, but we have, I'm sure that you, the player, you, the viewer, can come up with perks that are locked behind licensed characters that you would love to get your hands on because of how powerful they are. Now, is Behavior going to implement any of this? Probably not. Are they even going to know that I'm saying it? Probably not. But we have gotten their attention before. We got the Stranger Things chapter back in the game, basically by being super, super loud. And here's the thing. Behavior doesn't care about us. They've shown that time and time again. They've ignored our feedback. They've made absolutely insane decisions. And let's be real, right now, Behavior is probably hemorrhaging money. And they think the best way to recoup that money and actually get their profits margin back is to keep pushing out content that they know people will buy for no other reason than it's Dead by Daylight content. So, what can we do about this? Well, it's quite simple. We stop buying new content. Now, is this good? No. But we can be as loud as we want. Behavior's not really going to pay attention to us. At this point, I'm getting kind of into ramble territory, so I am going to cut it off basically there and just say, to summarize, we need, 1, Behavior to listen more to its player base, which it doesn't. Secondly, we need less content just being thrown into our face. Highly recommend taking 2 chapters a year to just focus on game health. they would get, if they did that, they would genuinely gain so many people back to the game who have just left the game because the game is so buggy right now. So spend 2 chapters focusing on game health. Number 3, I would recommend that BHVR take 2 out of every 2 teachable perks from every player, from every character, and make them general perks. And then going forward, only have each character have 1 perk. This would and this makes the game way more new player friendly. So those are my 3 ideas. Let me know what you are thinking in the comments below. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and yeah, depending on how this video does, I may or may not make another one. Thanks. Bye.